both here, standing on business with no fear. I mean that. It's the ring champs when the smoke clears.
What's up, fight fans? It's your boy Ak.
And I'm Barak, the boxing bully.
This is an episode of the Ring Champs, and we have friend to the room, our guy Shakur Stevenson.
What's good, y'all? What's good?
One of the best fighters in the world.
Yes, and he proved it. He proved it recently.
I've been telling everybody.
Yeah.
Right.
We've been telling people too.
Yeah, now y'all have.
I want to jump right into the Zepeda fight because one of the things that stood out to me was the post-presser when my boy Radio asked you, like, all right, people love that side of Shakur, but are we going to see more of that? Or are you going to fight everybody like that? You say, hell nah. I mean, you don't have to, right? But it doesn't mean that in a fight, if you don't have to get it, like if you're in a point where you have to get into that fight, you can still bring that out whenever you're ready for it.
I'm a dog, so at the end of the day, I'm going to do whatever it takes to win, but also, like, if I had, like you said, if I got to, like, okay, we got to dig deep and win the next 3, 4, 5 rounds, I'm going to get that done too. So I got everything in my arsenal. I got full belief in myself, and I know who I am.
First off, congratulations. I mean, I know I saw you after the fight, but I want to just tell the audience, like, to me, that was a phenomenal performance. I mean, I knew you had it in you, but it's satisfying for a supporter for everybody else to see it. You know what I'm saying? Because I argue with too many people on Instagram for you, so thank you.
Yeah, you know it's good for the casuals to see it also because they the ones that kind of talk so bad about me, so they got to see a different side of me, and I wanted to show it to them.
Do you feel like that shut a lot of people down because a lot of people were saying negative things about you before?
Nah,
Did it stop the rumors?
It
or
still
stop
got
the
more
talk?
like it still got more people hating and
Really?
acting like I'm not who I say I am. So,
But there had to be some. You must have flipped some people.
for sure, it's a lot of people that switched over now. Everybody's
Right.
like, "Oh, I've been telling y'all, Shakur." I know y'all have not. Y'all all been quiet.
They on the bandwagon
do
now.
you actually, you know, we talked to Virgil Ortiz, right? He told us that he be screenshotting a lot of the hate on Instagram to remember to maybe one day comment on their posts. Do you remember certain comments or posts that bother you?
I remember it, but like I'm not gonna screenshot it. What I do, I kind of like if I see something, I be ready to argue it or go back and forth, but I get up and run.
But I'm
like,
talking
fuck it,
about
I'm gonna
Get
go
up and run.
run 3 miles.
It motivates you.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I'm
for
talking
sure.
about like somebody that you know in the boxing industry that you respected, that you kind of was disappointed, like, damn, like
Everybody, except for the people that's like right there with me, like the Bud Crawford. He's somebody who kind of stayed with me throughout everything, and I think he's one of the realest people in the sport of boxing. But everybody, I feel like everybody just said,
like commentators, people that hold shows.
people around me started moving different.
Like
everybody,
like friends?
Damn. Everybody,
Really?
everybody.
So you had to cut some people off?
Yeah, yes, I cut people.
People
off.
you thought were friends.
Yes.
When you say moving different, what do you mean?
I ain't gonna like go into detail because I ain't gonna need to put everybody on the spot. But a lot of people start looking at me different. You know, social media make people think a certain image or certain things about you. Like people I walk into every day, like, bro, I know you. I've been around you for years. You know me. So if you know me, how you feel as though that you gonna go and look at me different or treat me different than what I already was. So
Right.
yeah.
Well, what did Turkey say after that win, like on a personal conversation? Did he say anything to you?
Nah, he just said, good job. We're going to get you on the next card, and he proud of me.
You ain't tell him, don't expect that every time out now.
Nah, I'm not going to tell him that because
No,
it's a business at the end of the day. And also, I appreciate him. He put me in a position to where he allowed one of the fights that I've been chasing for years to happen. So I appreciate him.
So I was in the camp back in the days where I was in the gym one day, in Floyd's gym, where he was training for Cotto. And he purposely was training to fight that particular fight. He said he didn't want to move and outbox Cotto, you know. And he did that because the fans were saying he moves too much. Is that why you fought Zepeda like that?
Partly. It's two things, you know. Certain time fighters expect you to do one thing, and sometimes you want to give a fighter the opposite of what they expect you to do. So for me, I try to do the unexpected. I try to make sure if you go out there expecting me to move and run around the ring, I want to give you the opposite. So it was a strategic game plan too.
Did he have any pop at all?
You know, it's crazy. A lot of people say that he don't, but like if somebody hits you in the same spot 500,000 times over and over. I don't give a fuck who it is. It's like boom, 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 over and over. You're gonna feel that spot. So he's one of them guys. Like, he's gonna constantly hit you over and over. That's why his knockout percentage is a good knockout percentage.
Would you say you were? Look, you obviously barely ever get hit in a fight, but because you were in a pocket, you got hit more than you normally get hit, right? In that fight. Did your body feel different after the fight?
Hell yeah.
Like
I never left the ring feeling like that in none of my fights.
You still sore right now?
No,
Nah, I'm good. I'm good now.
But I'm saying usually the next couple of days you be sore as hell.
Oh, fuck the next days. When I walked out of the ring, I felt like I was limping. I'm like, the hell going on? Like, I never felt like that. Like, truthfully, Zepeda, he was the style to where it's like a lot of people don't realize. They say, oh, well, he wasn't a puncher. He won't do this against this guy. Right. Them guys would be way easier than a guy throwing a million punches around, bro.
Non-stop.
This guy was a hard fight, like, truthfully.
I know you and Edgar are good friends. I go way back from the amateurs. I know it's tough for you to see him lose like that, right? If you did speak to him after the fight, what was your advice to him?
Just stay humble, stay in the gym, and keep working. At the end of the day, losing is a part of boxing. It's not like you're going to win them all, so
well, you trying to win them all. You
I'm
ain't never trying to
win them
lose.
all for sure. But you got to realize it's really, you got to be realistic.
Of course.
Like, sometimes you're going to have hiccups. One night you may come out not feeling the same as you did another night. So I just told him stay in the gym, bro. Stay in the gym, stay focused, and keep working on your craft.
What did he do wrong?
I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to tell. It looked like Hamzi was just, he was real strong, so it's hard to tell.
Yeah. So there's talks about you and Teofimo discussing a fight. Is that true?
Yeah. That's the fight I want.
So it's in the works, so to say?
It's nobody else around that's going to be a bigger fight than, like, me versus Teo. So
that's a fact.
He's close to my weight. He fights at 140. I don't mind going up to 140 for him. So I think the fight going to happen.
Oh, wow.
All right, so I think I heard your take about Jake Paul in an interview on YouTube, but talk to us about it. Look, I gave my opinion on it. I don't know if you saw it, but an opportunity to make that much money, right, isn't guaranteed around the corner. Because people saying, fight the Shakurs, fight the rematch with Roach. But maybe if he does that Jake Paul fight isn't there. So can you blame a man for taking that opportunity? Because this is prize fighting, right? It's about making money and securing your family. Can you fault him for that?
It's two sides of that. Like,
okay.
It just depends. Like, as a fighter, just because I had a draw with somebody, for me, I may run it back. But in a business aspect, if you run it back and you lose to Lamont, and then the Jake Paul fight is presented, you may not make as much money, or the fight may not be as lucrative as it was before you lost. So, as a business, I understand. I ain't going to hate on the decision, but as a man
your
and
pride
as
will
a
get in the way.
Fighter with my integrity.
Yeah, but isn't there a price for everything, Shakur? Like, even if you had a draw with somebody and you were offered 10 times more than you ever made, I don't know what the number is, but it's a lot more than he's ever made. You think you might consider doing the same thing, right?
I would, but you got to also realize I know that it's not going nowhere. Like, the fight ain't going to go nowhere. Like, say, because if I really believe in myself,
right,
and I wholeheartedly think, like, if we fight again, I'm going to win this fight.
That fight still be there around the corner.
After I beat this motherfucker, where you at?
Yeah.
The fight still there. It's not going to go nowhere. But if I have a 50-50 thought process
like a doubt.
To where it's like, I got doubt in my brain, I may be like, all right, fuck it.
Also, in his case, it might be that he's tired of fighting anyway. He's leaning towards retiring anyway.
Let's cash out.
So he's just going to get that money.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
Yeah, I guess so. What's your prediction for Brian Norman Jr. versus Devin Haney?
Hard fight for both.
Who would you lean towards?
Devin.
Okay.
And I like Brian. Like, I'm really a fan of Brian Norman.
Really?
Yeah, I think he's a tremendous fighter. He got punching power. He got good feet work. I think that's slept on. People think he got slow feet, and I don't believe that. But I'm leaning towards Devin because I know that if Devin do what he did his last fight, I think he's going to be hard to beat.
Right.
I think he's going to be very hard to beat him.
Speaking of Devin, I don't know if you saw this clip. He was on our show, and he said, I asked him, like, who out there in the boxing world surprised you because they attacked you so bad and you thought that they had love for you. He said, I can't tell you that, but I could tell you that somebody I thought was going to destroy me after the Ryan fight didn't, and that was Shakur. Why is that? Why are you that type of person?
I got integrity, bro. Like I told y'all, like I try to look at situations from everybody's point of view.
Right.
I'm not just looking at it from a point of view where it's like, okay, fuck him, I got beef with you, I got an issue with you. I'm going to speak on the situation. Even when Lamont fought Tank, I didn't go kill him. It is what it is. Like, it's boxing. It's part of boxing. I felt like he slept on Lamont, but it is what it is. When Devin fought Ryan, and then the thing came out that Ryan was on steroids, you got to be realistic about the situation, bro. That's cheating, bro. Like, if somebody else was to do that, y'all wouldn't be saying that. So if Devin did that to Ryan and it was the other way around, you know, it would be a bigger deal. But I feel like I just got to keep it real.
What if Ryan was an opportunity for you? Would you be worried about that and be, like, really locked in on drug testing and all of that?
Yes, I will make sure that the drug testing is A1. Like, we got to make sure that I'm safe in here because at the end of the day, boxing is our life. So you could kill somebody in the ring with that. So, I'll make sure.
All right, because you got a big name, you know, your name has always been thrown in the mix with all of these other fighters, right? The T.O.s and all of Devin Haney's. But at one time, it was always Tank in your mind who you wanted. Is that still the same way or no?
Nah, I mean, I came to terms with accepting that the fight may not ever happen at the end of the day. And I can't, like, it is what it is.
You was literally saying that fight's going to happen no matter what. It's too much money. Eventually it's going to happen. But what changed it now?
The Jake Paul fight. What do you
Not
think?
even just the Jake Paul fight.
It got to be before that.
It's the fact that you could tell he's not really, like, he don't want it like me. Like, I really want this shit. Like, he's not a nigga that really, like, wants this shit.
But what if he fights Jake, makes the bag of money, and comes back and wants to rematch
When I say
Roach?
want this shit, let me clarify, too.
I know what you mean.
I'm not talking about money.
I know.
I want to be the best.
Yeah.
Like, I want the
You
world
want the
to
legacy. You want to be remembered with the greats.
That is,
I wanna be
that is
the
the legacy.
greats,
That's the
right,
legacy.
right.
Being
Like,
called the best.
You know,
is the legacy.
Bud
Like that Mount Rushmore that they
that's
put
what I was
them
gonna
fucking
say.
guys up
say.
there.
So
They put Sweepy, Terrence, Floyd.
Imagine that.
Put me right next to them niggas. That's what I like. So
I love all three that you just said.
I was just going to say that, like, because Bud always said
Ward,
Mount
too.
Rushmore. Imagine that when it's all said and done, you one of those four up top. Whew.
that's what I want. That's what I like. Like that's what
That's
I'm
what
doing
drives
it for.
you.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, people call me the pocket watcher on this show on Ring Champs. I don't know if you saw because I'm always asking about money, right? So I know Turkey has brought so much into the sport. Guys are getting paid well. After that win, right, against Zepeda, which was great, I'm pretty sure you went in there or your team went in there. The next one has to be a big number, right? More like a lot more than you've ever made, right? It gotta be.
Yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want.
What number is that? What does that look like? Yo, chill,
I can't
bro.
tell you the
chill.
number.
All right,
I'm not
hold on.
gonna
Hold
chill,
on, hold on.
bro.
Call, hold
If
on.
I hear something crazy, I'm gonna laugh
Shut
at
your
it.
mouth.
I'm gonna laugh at
shut
it.
your mouth.
You wildin',
Call.
bro.
Let me
You're
ask you a
wildin'.
question. I did this to Ryan. You ain't
What
gotta give me
number is that?
Well, can you shut up,
Yo,
bro?
let me
co-host?
Let me see your paycheck. No, first of all, you can't tell me to shut up.
Shakur.
You don't want that kind of.
Shakur.
Put your hands on
All
it.
right,
Don't want that kind of
what if I
problem.
give you a range?
Y'all gotta box each other.
Nah, he don't want that kind of problem. I'm gonna hurt this guy.
If we,
I feel
what if
like
I
it,
give you a
though.
range? Yo, we can spar. We can definitely
We
spar.
don't spar. We gonna have to fight. We gonna have
Shakur,
to
you
fight.
see me on IG. I get a little work, and I'm a little high. But what if I give you a range? Can you say yes or no?
I can't tell you.
Oh,
I can't tell
man.
you. I gotta keep it between myself.
I respect that. I respect that.
No, I respect that too, 100%. But let's get back to this though. Like this is Canelo on that Mount Rushmore too? Forget 4 people on Mount Rushmore.
Yes.
Is Canelo up there too?
Yes.
Because you said Andre Ward. I
Yes.
believe that.
Yes.
You said Bud. I believe that.
Yes.
Okay.
Top 10, you
Canelo is
saying?
there.
Yeah.
I feel like Canelo is underrated. Like his a lot of people talk about, oh, his chin is so good,
Right.
but like you barely see Canelo just getting
Getting
hit
hit.
in fights. Like his
Flush.
defense is kind of good enough to where he know how to keep his hands up at all times. So yeah, I think he the greatest Mexican I ever seen.
I agree with you. Skill set is unmatched.
Can you fight right-handed?
Yo, I switched in one of my fights. Nobody even noticed it. Nobody said nothing
What
about
fight
it.
was that?
Josh Padley.
But
Really?
can you really?
Oh, you felt comfortable
It's
in there,
really.
though.
It's not even about fighting right-handed. It's about defense on right hand. Can you do that?
I think
Can you
that
do that
I
sh-
can pull that out in some scenarios. It's times where I'm in the gym where I
Yeah.
may stay right-handed for like 2 rounds straight, and I'm comfortable and I'm good. So
not too many people could do it. I know you be doing that. But see,
at the
sometimes
highest level, I don't know if I trust myself to do it though.
See, in martial arts, like, I fight right hand, I fight left hand. But after a while, when boxing, if you're fighting one way, it's hard. Like you got stuck with the left-handed stance, because fighting is so long, even though he right-handed.
Right.
You know, so I know it's hard to switch like that.
Yeah, that's why Bud the GOAT.
Yeah,
I got to go back to this called the Tank and Jake. They saying it's an exhibition, but Jake has said that the reason why they deem it an exhibition because it won't get sanctioned because of the weight disparity, right? But they still going to really fight. Do you feel they're going to get into a real fight in there?
Yeah.
Like you think Tank is going to try to knock Jake out and vice versa?
Yeah, I think they are.
So how does that play out?
Fuck them.
Huh?
I said fuck them.
Both of them?
Yeah,
you can't give me a prediction on that? I feel you.
I care about like boxing fights in the sport of boxing.
No doubt. All right, so before you get out of here, what's one fight outside of yourself that you want to see in boxing?
One fight outside of myself, I would like to see Bam versus Nakatani.
Oh, I like that.
I would like that fight.
Well, listen, we don't know when
more in a way, Nakatani. I told you Nakatani was good.
Yeah, he can't mess with Bam. I think
like
Bam would destroy, but it'd be a great fight.
Style-wise, it's like a good fight for Bam, to where it's like the dude is taller, longer,
right.
also southpaw, so interesting.
So right now on your radar, Teofimo Lopez, he's on the front line for your next fight.
Line, and if not, I'm sad that they kind of already got a fight going on, but Lamont Roach was really the one that I was trying to fight.
If not Teofimo.
Yeah.
You think he could beat Pitbull?
Yes.
Oh,
yes. I think he could box Pitbull head off. I think he's going to show more arsenal to his game against a guy like
So
Pitbull.
that Roach fight could be around the corner for you.
Yeah, we're going to fight at the BTO.
All right. Our guy, one of the best fighters on the planet, Shakur Stevenson. Thank you. What up, Fight Fam? It's your boy Ak, and we have a massive fight coming your way. You know we had to team up with the squad at DraftKings. Barak, I'm talking about Tank versus Jake Paul.
Is that the fight that everybody wanted to see? No, but it's going to wind up being a big fight, and I know when it started.
People want to see Jake. People want to see Tank. So essentially, it's a fight that people want to see. They just won't admit it.
I believe this started because someone in the camp of Paul said, don't mess with Tank because he'll knock you out.
The fight is an exhibition.
Exhibition means nothing. I seen Sugar Ray Leonard knock somebody out to the body in an exhibition. This is going to be one of those fights that you can't miss. Matter of fact, all fights are like that. So don't forget to check out all that DraftKings has to offer and use our promo code ATS Fights. The crown is yours.
Check out all that DraftKings has to offer via the app or the website. Join in on the fun right now while you're still standing there. Download the DraftKings app right now.
New customers, I got something special just for you guys. Use our promo code ATS Fights. Level up your fight night experience.
We had to get friend to the room, former 168-pound champ, Caleb Plant on.
Welcome to Ring Champs on the Road, bro.
My man, I appreciate, you guys having me on today. It's a big week for boxing, so, excited for the festivities.
And let me add, one of the most stylish boxers in the sport of boxing. I'm into fashion, that's one thing, and you take that serious. Like, what do you got on today? Like, I see, are those those aren't off-white laces, right? What are those?
Satoshi Vans.
Okay.
Last year when I went to Complex Con, within 5 minutes of me pulling up, the brand hooked me up with a pair, and that was like one of the only things I wanted when I went to Complex Con.
So you didn't have to pay for them?
No, I got lucky. I got lucky. So,
yeah, lucky you put in that work.
Yeah.
But speaking of that, I've seen your wall at home, like tons of sneakers, like an exclusive, expensive sneakers. Since you started making some money, like how much would you say you spent on clothes and sneakers and stuff like that? Too much?
Don't tell JP, but
too late.
No, definitely quite a bit, especially on shoes. I'm a little more relaxed with my clothes. I don't wear a whole lot of designer. These are Marni, but I try to keep it pretty chill, pretty low key with my clothes.
There used to be a time where women used to be the one that had a whole bunch of shoes. Now it's us. Like I got a wall too. Mine is in my walk-in closet, but I got a wall full of kicks. Who has more shoes, you or your wife?
Me for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, it's been, I'm getting older now, but especially younger come up, I just had like such an infatuation with shoes, and I think it just stemmed from probably not having those things as a kid, and I didn't have the other clothes that the other kids had. I didn't have the same shoes and sneakers that other kids in my school had, and fashion is something that I've also leaned into and I've always enjoyed. So, but, as I turned professional and started to make a little more money, the things I didn't have as a child, we had to.
Let me go back and get those.
We had to circle back. We had to spin the block and go get that. So.
Does she ever complain like, all right, Caleb, like you have enough shoes, enough sneakers?
No, because I don't go crazy at a time. It's just like over time I'll get a pair, but nothing too crazy at one time. So,
what's the most you ever spent on one pair of sneakers?
On one pair? Probably like 5 or 6. Just because
you have to say grand,
yeah.
because people might be thinking 100.
Wait,
say the
what
grand.
Are those? What sneakers are those?
85 Jordan 1s. In 1985, for those of you who don't know, that was Jordan's rookie year. That's when they come out with the Air Jordan 1. And that's basically the sneaker that has everybody in here today wearing sneakers. That's what started the whole sneaker community. So, that's always been like a grail of mine that I wanted to get the Chicago, 1985 Air Jordan 1. And then I also have the 85 Breads too,
right,
which is what I fought in my last fight, the 85 Breads. So.
Yeah. But for $6,000, Michael Jordan said at least wore it once.
No,
what I'm saying? At least wore it once.
That's ground zero, though.
Yeah.
That's ground zero of the sneaker industry. So it's definitely a grail. And let's see, what else? Oh, I got some Georgetown ones.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, those.
So
those are crazy.
You have 2 kids, right? And you just had recently, Jet was your
Jet.
son's name, right? And Charlie, your daughter's name. Are you gonna push that fashionista agenda on them? Like, are you spending money already on your daughter, like what she wears, or you don't care about that?
No, I don't really push that on my kids.
The kids,
Honestly, I feel like that's like an unrealistic expectation,
right.
As parents, to like always have them in the latest, most expensive stuff.
Yeah, that's correct.
Kids don't really care about that.
They don't.
You care about that.
Yes,
and
right.
You don't
Thank
have
you.
to put that in their heads at such a young age, and it's unrealistic. And then for the rest of their lives, they either got to continue to live up to that expectation, or they're moving backwards, in their head.
Right.
So that's not really my
Speaking
thing.
of your kids, your daughter, is she at the point now? Is she around 4 years old?
3. She just turned
3
in August.
Does she have an idea as to what her father does for a living?
Oh yeah, no, she knows I box. She's been in the gym so much with me and watched me spar so many times, and comes to strength and conditioning. So it's one of her favorite places to be. That's a place where the team and everybody shows up. So she knows everybody real well, and we're gonna go watch Daddy us today.
Us.
When she was younger, that's what she would say. She can say sparring now, but before Daddy's gonna us today.
Does she throw punches? Do you see something in her?
Oh, we spar. Yeah, we spar at home. Yeah.
Who wins?
Yeah, come on. She wins every time.
Yeah. She's 100-0 against me right now. But even one day, she was watching me spar. She's like, "Daddy, body shot."
Wow.
Really?
Hit somebody with a big
At
shot.
3.
This was like 2.
Oh, wow.
And she's like, body shot. I hit him with a good shot. She goes, ooh.
Oh, wow. You don't have that on tape footage?
Yeah, I got it on film. Yeah, I got it on film.
I got to see that.
Would you want your son Jet to box?
That's not really in my head what I have mapped out for him. I don't know what exactly, but not necessarily boxing. But I'm never going to deter my kids away from
what they want to do.
What they want to do, what they want to be, and if that's something that they feel passionate about, something that they really want to do, I'm not going to get in the way of that.
But does your wife feel the same, like about that?
She'd rather them not, but she's not going to get in the way of that either. And life will play out. If they really want to do it and they're going to become successful, they'll stick with it.
Right.
I
feel like boxing, it seems like boxing is one of those sports where you tell your child, well, I did this so you don't have to do stuff like this. That's how other boxers seem. Do you feel that way or no?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of extracurriculars that come with boxing. Once you've been in it for such a long time and you understand the ins and outs of boxing, there's other sports that are more organized.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll say it like that.
Yeah.
And but again, if my son is passionate about that, he wants to follow in his father's footsteps, or if my daughter Charlie wants to follow in her dad's footsteps and be a fighter, I'm never going to get in the way, because I can remember how many times I was told, like, no, you can't do that, you can't be that, because of where I'm from or what I look like, or because of the situation that I grew up in as a kid, whatever it may be. Just so many people telling me I couldn't, and the more they told me I couldn't, the more I wanted to. So
that's beautiful.
I'm not gonna those people who did that to me, I'm not going to be that for my kids.
You know, you mentioned that other sports are organized, kind of alluding to the fact that boxing has issues, right? So what would be something that you could change? 'Cause I think most people would say, Caleb, you became world champion. You've made millions of dollars. Like, what's there to complain about?
Yeah, and I'm not saying you're saying this, but just for the viewers at home, I'm not necessarily complaining, but obviously we're all in agreement, I'm sure, that there's things that could be.
Of course.
Right. But what would be the major thing, in your opinion?
I don't know, maybe some type of union, maybe some type of way for fighters to, all pitch in on getting health insurance. I think seminars on financial literacy. I have a great team around me of financial advisors, and I'm in a great position where I don't have to box anymore.
Really?
I don't have to fight anymore, and I can still live a super comfortable life with me and my children.
Because of the investments and stuff?
Because of the investments I've made and being smart with my money and, rental properties and stocks and all types of stuff. But a lot of people don't want us to know about that stuff. A lot of people don't want us to get good at that, because that puts more power in the fighter's hands.
I want to say something.
And I know that as a pocket watcher, so I have to talk money.
And that's what I want to say. I want to say that people always get on him about pocket watching. And because you from the hood, that's what we say. We say you ain't supposed to be watching somebody else's pocket. I get that. We from the hood, that's how we say. But in reality, money is one of the most important things in a person's life. Besides your faith or who you marry or your children, money is very important. And we're trying to school guys.
It's a dictating factor on where you are and where you'll wind up.
And everything, So when we have fighters on and they're telling us what they done with their money, it inspires other guys coming up. So stop calling this guy a pocket watcher.
Some fighters, and I could be wrong, but I think because a financial advisor, somebody that you'll have to pay, right, to take care of your money, at least to invest. Like, nobody's working for free. I think fighters are scared of that. They're scared to pay anybody for anything.
Yeah, but you're paying a percentage of money that you wouldn't make otherwise.
Right.
And that's what you have to understand.
So tell me, what has been your best investment thus far?
We're invested in the NFL. We're invested in, multiple rental properties. We're invested in apartment complex.
He said that like it was nothing. I'm invested in the NFL. Yeah. Like, I haven't heard any fighters say they invested in the NFL.
I guess you mean stock market.
It's like private equity ownership in multiple teams where owners have sold off a percentage of what they owned and opened it up to the public. And obviously not everybody can.
Right. Not everybody has access to that.
Wow. Yeah, exactly. And you have to be with the team. If you're doing it on your own, how are you going to catch wind of opportunities like that if you don't have the team around you? So that's why, they may be getting a percentage of what you make, but it's money you wouldn't have made otherwise, and it's opportunities that you wouldn't have been able to be part of otherwise.
Right.
And so.
Are you allowed to say what NFL team, or is it multiple?
It's multiple. Yeah, it's multiple. Yeah. It's a handful of different teams. So, and, if you check the math, in the way that the NFL is going up right now in comparison to some other sports.
Yeah, it's crazy. Is it because of we've seen so many, I don't want to say failure, right, because fighters have made tons of money, but a lot of them haven't kept it, right? Was that something that you saw coming up? Like, I don't want to do what he did. I don't want to end up like that.
Yeah, I think some of the best advice, it seems so simple, but some really good advice that my dad has given me is like all the do's and all the don'ts are already laid out before you. You can look back over history and see 1,000 times, consistently, this works. This is if you go down this road, it's going to work. If you go down that road, it's not going to work. And just, looking at some of, it's sad to say, but some of my all-time favorites, some of my all-time greats, and they got a lot and they made a lot, but it's not about what you make, it's about what you keep, So I think I'd like to be one of those guys who helps change the culture of boxing, and I'm going to continue to try to put my best foot forward so that people can see, like, man, look at where Caleb's at now. When we're 50, showing up to the Boxing Hall of Fame, and I'm trying to come through decent. You know what I mean? And hopefully over time, people can say, oh man, well, I'm trying to be like that. I want to be like that. So.
Well, financial literacy 101 is over, but he needed to say that. Sometimes a fighter want to flex too, but he wants to help the community, the boxing community.
Thank you for taking the time with us, bro. Caleb Plant.
Thank you.